talking over each other sometimes.
Yeah, we do.
I don't really know what to do about that though. Oh well. We'll
Not
see.
that one.
We'll see what happens.
There we go. All right. We are here.
Alrighty.
Let me pop out the... No, not that one. Let me pop out chat so we can see it with the other within alongside the articles and such. And to the live screen. So hello everyone, welcome to the third episode of Filthy Casuals. I am joined by Caesar,
Yo.
and we will be discussing this, and we'll also be doing a video response. We try to avoid politics on this podcast, but
It seems like it's inevitable. It seems like it's inevitable to talk about
yeah,
politics.
we're
Even normal apolitical people wind up talking politics,
anyway.
and then they get all hissy when you call them out on it.
Let me retrieve the chat. There we go. So we can see the chat. There. All right. So today we have an article from CBR.com. This is no longer up, so this is an archived link. The backlash they got from this was strong,
And
so
like,
they took it
I,
down
I mean,
like the
I mean,
cowards they are.
yeah. I mean, just to post this on Memorial Day of all days, just
Oh yeah, by the way, posted on Memorial Day. All right, so do you have any news or any other related things?
me no.
All right, well, I have a couple things. So, if you didn't catch yesterday's Academic Ale House, generally, yes, that's going to be the thing. Meaning I'm going to go live on Friday, talk about news and politics. It's going to, for the foreseeable future, be on Friday. Just a heads up to everyone.
All three of you.
This includes you,
Me.
Caesar. Wait, I'm ambushing you with this.
Okay.
On there will be no Academic Alehouse or Filthy Casuals on June 12th and 13th.
How dare you?
I am going on a family trip.
Ooh, we're at.
Family trip. We're just going to go down to Galveston and spend the day at the beach.
Oh, yeah, Galveston Beach.
Yeah, it's a couple days at the beach. That nothing fancy.
Yeah, nothing fancy. It's just the Galveston Beach. It's not Florida.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, there was that, and riding. What in a continuation of what we covered last night, riding has continued on um in many cities across the United States. Uh, if you are not part of the riots, I do not recommend you avoid areas where they are they are and uh just stay safe. There's a lot of thugs and criminals out there right now that are basically have free reign of every major city in the United States. And apparently the National Guard has been forced out of Minnesota. So the active duty army is going in.
All right, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it is. This is a time bomb. Hello, John Rice. Now, moving on to our main topic.
Or topic number one, at
Or at
least.
least a topic number one. The article. Do you want to read or shall I?
Go ahead.
Hold on.
I've already read.
Yeah. Alright. Steve Rogers wasn't a hero for becoming Captain America, he was selfish.
Ooh, spicy take.
While he's Marvel's golden boy, Steve Rogers deciding to be Captain America was based on his own selfish desires. This man Caleb Clark, man, you better have some compelling evidence. Because that's a bold claim. That entire thing, that's a bold claim right there. I made chat disappear.
Way to go.
Yeah. That's a bold claim. Steve Rogers was selfish for becoming Captain America. It's not like he volunteered multiple times for the army and was told no.
Well, in this article, he's selfish because he did that when he could have done something else.
Yes, I'm very aware, John Rice, that downtown Houston is popping off.
Really, I have not been in downtown since shit, I don't know. I've I haven't actually been in Houston proper in a long time, so I
Yep.
can't say for certain.
21 cities.
Shit, it's really 21.
21 cities across the United States are experiencing rioting and looting now.
Oh boy. Like, how's it looking for Houston?
I don't know. I said it last night. This is no longer about this is no longer protesting. This is ideological in nature. That and people exploiting the government's lack of response. But anyway.
Okay. I just googled Houston, and first one and there's Houston on Twitter. First one of them is from T. Greg Duchette. I only recognize that guy because he seems to be kind of prominent in the whole Vic Mignogna controversy. But let's see. He says, also in today's criminal justice news, police in Houston trample a peaceful protester with a horse for sports. Oh boy.
All right. Well, if it's not blown over by Monday, you know what I'm covering next week on Academic Ale House.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so let's turn back to this article before this becomes a second episode of Academic Ale House during the week.
Okay, looks like Duchette won't let me look at his tweets. Probably because I follow Nick Rekieta. Nick Rekieta loves to call him out.
Anyway, Captain America is one of the most important characters in Marvel history, and without him, many of the great stories of the Marvel Universe would not happen, or wouldn't be the same. He's central to the entire framework of Marvel storytelling, and Captain America is emblematic of justice, honesty, and perseverance, making him the ultimate accumulation of the American ideal. However, the decision for Steve Rogers to become Captain America is inherently selfish. Again, you better have some fucking compelling evidence, because that's a blazing hot take. Steve was rejected from the military due to his small stature and health issues, but then his life changes when he's invited to join the Super Soldier program, which is how he becomes Captain America. However, when removing the context of what he would become, the decision is selfish.
Yeah, when you remove the context.
Yeah, totally. We can just absolutely remove context from everything. As a topical example, well, let's just remove context from the riots. They're absolutely peaceful protests. The legacy media is right. They have removed in a different context. These are what's happening right now across the United States are protests, not riots. and definitely not ideologically driven by Antifa and socialists and Black Lives Matter. Rather than contribute in the ways best suited to him, how? How would he contribute in the ways best suited for him?
Well, it does explain it in the next paragraph or two.
All right. Steve chooses to go under go under. God damn it. You, Caleb Clark, are a professional writer. And you said go under instead of undergo experimental treatments to artificially enhance himself. Steve's
Maybe
choice to become Captain
maybe
America.
maybe go under is trying. Maybe with go under, he's trying to subtly imply that Steve is a power bottom.
No,
No.
no. Steve Rogers is not a power bottom.
I don't know. He's got the ass for it.
Yeah. He is a bottom. Don't get me wrong. I know.
You think he's a bottom? Okay.
Absolutely. I know because I know these things.
Okay.
He's not a power bottom.
Well, anyways, he goes under experimental treatments.
Undergoes, because that's how it should be phrased, undergoes experimental treatments to artificially enhance himself. He's told he could die. If I remember correctly, like he's told this could work. This could not work. Like absolutely. The scientist tells him right before he goes in. He's like, "Yeah, you know you could die from this." He's like, "Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm
Also,
doing it because they need me to.
yeah.
This
Also,
is how he feels he can best serve."
yeah. Also, if you remember when he's like transforming inside the pod, everyone's like planning to shut it off. And he's like yelling at them, like, "No, keep going, don't stop."
Steve's choice to become Captain America is rooted in the
Uh,
the fucking
Fetishization.
thank you of
Fetishization
hypermasculine rather than innate of the hypermasculine rather than an innate desire to do good for his country.
with
Did you
no.
did we watch the same movie, friend? Because
Well,
I'm pretty sure in the opening scenes, Steve just fights a guy for no reason. Just fights a guy because he doesn't like bullies. He fins off a guy, a mugger or something, from I think Peggy Hill. No, not Peggy Hill.
You mean at the very beginning of the movie,
Yeah,
he got into a fight with a guy that was sitting behind him in the movie theater because he was yelling at yelling at the TV screen while war
yeah,
propaganda was playing, and so he's like telling him like to shut up, and then it cuts to them fighting outside.
exactly. And Steve basically says Steve isn't like, oh, I'm this big tough guy, I can fight him. No, he's standing up to this guy because he's sick of his shit. That's not hyper masculinization. It's an innate desire to do good for other people. More than a soldier. This is a bold claim against Captain America's golden boy, yet the context matters. Yet the context matters. Steve is initially someone unfit to serve on the front lines. It is tough and hurtful, but it is the reality of the situation. If his concern was truly how he could best serve his country, he would accept his station in life and make the most of it. But why does he have to? Why does he
Because
have to?
the writer said so.
Because
The journalist
why
said
does he
so.
have to accept that his station in life? I don't want to accept my station in life. My current station in life is shitty.
Yeah, ditto.
So why the fuck should I accept that situation if I want to progress forward?
Because that's pro-capitalism.
He could have tried becoming a merchant marine, train as an officer, or stay home and help with the production of wartime materials. All of these could contribute to the war like Steve supposedly wants to do, but that isn't good enough. Steve, in his eyes, has to be out on the front lines. I agree, John
Okay.
Rice. Context is racist. Because that's what the propaganda is telling him. Like, alright, most people wouldn't know this because it's a very obscure fact in history. But women, I would, women in World War I in British Britain would go up to guys who weren't on the front lines or weren't volunteering or for some reason weren't on, like, contributing to the war effort, or quote unquote, and they would hand them a white feather, and basically, and they would hand them a white feather, which means they were which was the meaning behind that was you were a coward.
Mm.
Steve wants to be on the front lines because that's where he believes he can do the most good. Also, to train as an officer in the military, you have to be fit for military service. Like, you have to go through basic training and everything. Steve didn't make it to basic training because he has asthma. And I don't know about Merchant Marines. I don't think America had a Merchant Marines.
What even is a merchant marine?
1 second. I don't think America had Merchant Marines. I don't.
Uh, so they're just basically merchants that just work under the military, I guess. Oh no, they are not part of the.
So he wants to be on the front lines. That's not a bad thing. And he knows he can fight. That's what he wants to do.
Well, wanting to fight is a sign of toxic masculinity. But if a woman wants to fight, it's feminine. It's pro feminism. You go, girl. That kind of shit.
True enough. It's understandable for a young man to want to prove himself to his peers and country. Yet, even if deep down his intentions are altruistic, the steps he takes to pursue those instincts are selfish. Not necessarily the
Okay,
look.
so or I just want to say something. In the original Captain America movie, when Steve is at boot camp, there's a part where Tommy Lee Jones throws a fake grenade into like at the soldiers. Everybody ducks and covers except for Steve. He just throws himself on top of that grenade, willing to take the full blast to save everybody else. And that's why he got accepted and that's why he got chosen to become the super soldier. It's
That
because of his personality, his selflessness.
not only that, but the reason he the reason he gets as far as he does, like the reason he gets accepted at all into boot camp, is because when the doctor asks, like, why are you here? It's like, is it to kill Nazis? It's like, no, sir, I just don't like bullies. That's it. He doesn't care who the enemy is. It's not about killing the enemy. It's not about his kill count. It's not about glory. For him, it's these people are doing wrong and I wish to stop them. Granted, if we wish to dig into that concept, you know, wrong and right are utterly subjective based upon the morality of the day. So, in ancient times it was perfectly acceptable for me to cut off the thief's hand. Today, I look like a crazy person if I do it. Altruism's ugly side. Captain America is known for his altruism and his willingness to sacrifice everything for what he believes to be right. Correct. That's why he's Captain. That's why he got to be Captain America. Yet there is something selfish within that because Cap's altruism in what he believes and nothing else is in what he believes and nothing else. Cap will fight against anyone who opposes his worldview, including his friends. Just look at the catastrophic violence that breaks out in the Civil War comic arc, as well as its accompanying film.
Okay, so are they talking about the comic book Steve Rogers or the movie Steve Rogers? Because judging by all these screenshots, they're talking about the movie version. So, I mean, the Civil War comic and the Civil War movie are two completely unrelated things. I mean, the premise is similar, but the events that happen are very different. I haven't even read the Civil War comic, but even I know enough about it to know that both the movie and the comic are greatly different.
Yeah, they're very different, and Steve Rogers is a very different character.
Also, I do at least know that in the comic, Steve Rogers, like he almost does beat Iron Man, but then he surrenders because he realizes civilians are starting to take Iron Man's side over his, and then Steve gets shot and
And
dies,
then Aunt May dies,
and then he comes back to life again.
and then Aunt May dies, and Peter Parker makes a deal with Mephisto for one more day with Mary Jane.
Yeah, yeah. The reasoning behind why One More Day happens, I hear like two different explanations. One was that Joe Quesada wanted Peter Parker to go back to his roots, quote unquote. And another explanation was that Joe Quesada was going through a really bad divorce and he was taking his frustration out on Spider-Man.
Little column A, little column B.
Hmm.
uh,
So
just
anyways, going back to the Civil War, let's talk the Civil War movie. Yeah, the reason why the reason why Steve fought the other Avengers was because he was trying to save Bucky. They were trying to take him into custody because he was framed for mass murder. Or he was framed for terrorism.
exactly. And Steve didn't believe that Bucky was the one who did it.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with being selfishness. He's protecting his best friend.
Yeah.
The closest thing he has to the closest thing he has to a brother.
His also current only connection to his past life. Because I think Civil War opens with the Carter's funeral, doesn't it?
Um, it it happens later on in the movie. I think it opens up to Bucky actually showing Bucky getting brainwashed.
Oh, it's been a while since I watched Civil War, but Civil War, like Peggy Carter dies. Like
Mm-hmm.
she dies. There's a funeral and everything.
Yep.
These events happen because Cap is uncompromising and nothing will shake his worldview. That's absolutely not true.
I mean, this once again in Civil War, the Civil War movie, all that shit went down. Him
This
fighting his other friends was because he was trying to save Bucky.
and the Civil War movie fundamentally proves Iron Man is right. And Captain America changes how he views Iron Man. And Infinity War happens as well. You know, that thing, that big, huge, giant thing, that elephant in the room that this writer probably will never address. The requirement that we stand up for what we believe no matter the odds or consequences says Cap says in the Amazing Spider-Man Civil War story by J. Michael Straczynski
Close enough.
and art by Ron Garney. When the mob
He,
and the
he
press
acknowledged the artist.
and the whole world tell you to move, your job is to plant yourself like a tree beside the river of truth and tell the whole world, no, you move. This quote could be also be adapted in the film with Sharon Carter saying, saying it and inspiring Cap to stand his ground in regards to the Sokovia Accords. Yes, because in both scenarios, the Accords in both scenarios, in one scenario you have the I don't know that they're the Sokovia Accords in the comics, but basically it's the Hero Registration Act.
Yeah, I think that's what it was in the comics.
I think that's what it is in the comics too. But basically
Definitely.
that act is saying all heroes must unmask, must reveal their true identity to the government, and we will have it on a database. And that will be that. We will know the identity of every superhero ever on Earth. All of them, no matter what. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm Matt Murdock or, Spider-Man, and I have people that are precious to me, but I know that if my secret identity is revealed to the world, well, somehow, because if Hillary Clinton proved anything, government oversight, his government servers are definitely straight up the most secure things on the planet. It's absolutely the I would absolutely oppose that. Ironically enough, Spider-Man sides with Iron Man in this conflict. Fuck if I know why.
Wait, in the Civil War comic?
Yeah, in Civil War, Spider-Man
Oh,
reveals his
Spider-Man.
secret. Yeah, Spider-Man reveals his secret identity.
Oh, wait, I thought you said Cap. Sorry. Yeah,
No,
Spider-Man.
no.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I don't know why either. Definitely have to read the comics because
Yeah.
it does sound pretty nonsensical. Though I don't know. Also, do you realize that it's been a while since I've seen the Civil War movie, but I might be remembering this wrong, but find it a little find it very manipulative that Stark just kind of roped Peter into his little battle. Like there was no reason for Spider-Man to even be in that fight. It's like he just specifically recruited him just to help him fight the other half of the Avengers.
He brought in a wild card.
Okay.
That was the goal.
Yeah, he brought in a kid who was used to just fighting thugs on the street and using him to fight other Avengers. Just a little
Yeah, and
douchey.
he immediately regrets that decision.
Yeah. Stark
Like,
does.
yeah, like 2 minutes
Okay.
later, after Spider-Man takes down Ant-Man, Tony Stark's like, "No, you're done. Go home." Like,
Okay.
shit, I put this kid's life in danger because, fuck me, because I feel guilty.
Okay.
Like,
Like that.
straight up, that Tony feels awful about what happens in Civil War. Or not only to Cap, but to Rhodey and like,
The
there's a lot.
short answer. It sucks to be Tony Stark,
Basically, yes.
and then he dies.
Why? Why would you remind me of that?
Just her.
I teared
Just
up in the theater when I saw that.
You're up, dude. Okay. Okay. I want. That's fine. I t- that's fine. I've teared up to character deaths before.
This quote, uh, yeah, the Sokovia Accords aren't right. But both sides have their purpose. Both sides have the correct arguments, which is why Civil War is one of the best Marvel movies. Both sides are correct. Cap is right in saying like Oh, you really think they're gonna leave fucking Wanda alone? You know, the girl that can mind control people if they get a hold of that sort of thing? But Tony's also right and says, we're loose cannon in saying we literally cause thousands of people to die because we are uncontrolled and went off half cocked.
Oh shit! Now I really want to go back and rewatch Civil War.
Now I do too. Thank
I
God for
might do
Netflix.
tomorrow.
Oh
Yeah,
wait, it's on
it's
Disney
fun.
Plus now, isn't it?
Oh
Anyway,
well. Good thing I got the Blu-ray.
this quote also highlights Cap's tendency to respond to things with violence. What?
Yeah, so like what just about every superhero does.
Yeah. In fact, Captain Cap is an impulsive person, and his first response to opposition is to beat it down. These aggressive impulses are hidden beneath the veneer of tough American grit and freedom fighting.
Hmm.
What? It, you realize he's fighting against Hydra, an evil organization bent on destroying the world in both Captain America movies, and in Civil War, which I technically is a Captain America movie, but I'd say it's more of an Avengers movie than anything else.
Yeah, they really should just called it Avengers 3.
Yeah, but regardless, he's fighting against other superheroes. You know, and he actively tries to talk Tony down at the end of the movie. He doesn't want to fight him.
Yeah, so yeah, that was something that confused me. Like, was Tony aware that Bucky was brainwashed when he killed his parents?
Do you think he cares?
I don't know. I mean, I guess if I was in that situation, I would think twice about fighting him if he wasn't even in control of his own mind. But then again, I guess I'm not as emotionally driven as him. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, he fights he fights evil organizations. Like what? How are these aggressive impulses hidden beneath a veneer of tough American grit? No, that's bullshit. He fights people because that's what he needs to do. Like in in not Infinity War, Endgame. In Endgame he fights himself. He fights himself because himself is about to blow all their covers. And himself thinks that um that he's Loki.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I imagine just fighting bad people, just coming across bad people in general would just trigger aggressive impulses. It's just simply a natural instinct.
This may seem like a condemnation, the beautiful side of selfishness. This may seem like a condemnation, but it's not. After all, it absolutely is. Please do not pretend that this piece is anything but a hit piece on Captain America, a character who I have
Or
to assume just don't like.
I don't know. I think he's just kind of making up shit for clicks. I'm skeptical if he even believes half the shit he wrote.
Which is why I chose the archive instead
It's
of
kind
going to the actual site.
Well, the actual site deleted it, so it's not like you have a choice.
That's true. Use archives, people. Don't give these people the clicks. There would have been no one to defeat the Red Skull during. Uh, hold on, I lost my place. After all, not everything Cap does is selfish, and not everything selfish he does is bad. If Cap hadn't entered the Super Soldier program, there would have been no one to defeat the Red Skull during World War II. His unwavering commitment to freedom and privacy. He is also what uncovers Hydra's plot to take over S.H.I.E.L.D. in Captain America the Winter Soldier. I haven't seen Winter Soldier.
You haven't seen Winter Soldier, really?
Really. In Avengers
Oh, dude, yeah, that's a good one.
in Avengers Endgame, it is also his instinct for aggression and desire for revenge that lead the remaining Avengers to hunt down Thanos and ultimately kill him. No one would argue these outcomes are bad, however, the underlying motive behind them still isn't as black and white as it may seem.
I mean, okay, he killed.
Yes,
I mean, he didn't kill Thanos.
he didn't kill Thanos. He hunted him down in an attempt to right what what was a massive failure on all their parts.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. Okay, you still there? Hmm. Still there, Clayton?
I'm here.
Okay, you were awfully quiet for like 10 seconds. What's up?
Well, that's fun. I just received some interesting news.
What happened?
Apparently, SAPD is on the run from rioters.
SAPD, which city is that?
San
Oh, San
Antonio.
Antonio. Okay.
Yeah. They're busting up the River Center.
Oh, really? Oh, man. Oh, fuck. That's my favorite part. That's my favorite part of San Antonio.
But the importance of reflection. Psychoanalyzing a comic book character may seem trite, but there are good reasons to do so. For one, it makes Captain America more human. He was already more human. He is a fictional character, but is also an important icon for many people. He's the golden standard for many fans want to live up to. Humanizing may take the veneer away, but it makes the the character, his actions, and his consequences more real.
What do you mean humanizing him? I mean,
Do
he
you mean
already.
where he had to go on the run from the law because he literally wouldn't give in to the Sokovia Accords, putting two of it, seeing all his friends go to prison, seeing many of his friends go to prison for it, for helping him, you know, that sort of thing. The the consequences for his actions. That's not humanizing at all. It also helps readers and moviegoers better understand Steve Rogers and out of the Captain America in and out of the Captain America uniform as a character. Um, yeah, he was already understood as a character. It's easy to write him off as an archetype of American machismo, but when fans try to understand why he makes the choices he does, he becomes that much more complex. Being a hero isn't black and white issue. Seeing Cap overcome selfish impulses for the greater good is far more rewarding than watching him be a do-gooder all the time.
Oh, bullshit. Captain America does all. It's actually with Captain America, it is extremely simple. He does the things he does because he believes it's right. That's
Exactly.
it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Correct.
All right. Well, that was a that was a thing.
Yeah, that was a thing. Um,
The next thing we're
hey,
covering
we
is
got
Justice
4
Project,
people watching us.
and two of them are us.
No, I don't watch my own stream.
Oh, well, okay. Then three people.
Um, so as much as I want to do the video tonight, I am considering.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm considering getting off with the news Ryan just gave me.
Uh,
Because the River Center isn't that far from where I'm located.
okay.
So, uh, I'm considering pulling off for this week. We can cover
Oh
this
yeah, we
next.
can do.
We
Yeah,
can
dude.
absolutely do this next week,
Sure
but
thing.
with current climate being what it is, I think I'm probably gonna call it here. And I know that probably disappoints some people, and I'm sorry,
Oh
but I
well.
do have to consider my own safety and the safety of those I live with before anything else.
All right. Yeah, man. Stay safe. I mean,
You
do you guys?
too, and to anyone else watching this,
Yeah.
is y'all stay safe as well. I'll avoid areas where rioting and looting is happening. If you need to, move away from urban centers.
Yeah.
There's go somewhere where or somewhere far away from like downtown Houston. Move away from areas where they're rioting and looting, and if you
Yeah.
can, get out, basically go out of town for a couple of days. I know
Yeah.
that's a big ask for some people, but it is something you should consider doing.
Yeah. Just yeah, I guess move out to the country and start society anew. Restart.
But yeah,
Yeah,
anyway, I know this is a somber note and a rather sudden pullout, but I hope you all understand. Thank you so much to you, Caesar, and
yeah.
to all of you watching on this episode of Filthy Casuals. We will be back next week, as
Yay.
far as I'm aware. If not, there will be a post in the Discord. There will be a post on Facebook. There will be a post on Twitter. Until then, thank you so much for watching.